breakfast. Jack's Up, late night with Jack in the Box.
Well, once again, they've rolled out the red carpet for us, this time at Centennial High School. Cougars and Huskies here in Corona, California. These two teams, as normally when you're rivals, not a lot of love for each other, but a whole lot of respect. And we think it's going to be a pretty good football game. Norco and Centennial on what is a perfect evening. And there is the head coach, Todd Gerhardt of the Norco Cougars. He took over from 34-year head coach Gary Campbell a couple of years back. And, you know, it's interesting. He was a running back here at Norco. Well, his opposite side coach, Matt Logan, was also a former running back here at Norco. Logan, the class of '85, and Gerhardt, the class of '81.
Yeah, two great coaches and different styles. You know, the one thing we'll see from Matt Logan, more of a balanced style of offense. Single back, 4 receivers. He'll spread it around a little bit, but he still wants to run the ball and be powerful as well. On the other side, you talked about Gerhardt. This is a running team. It's smash mouth football for Norco. They want to pound it and pound it and pound it, and they have the guy to do it until be Gerhardt.
And Norco's going to get the football when we do get this thing underway. As mentioned, Norco is 5-0, Centennial 4-1. But as you can see, Valley View right behind them. And I'll tell you what, Moreno Valley, that's a sleeper team in this league. They're 1-2-2, but they got to take on Moreno Valley, both of these two teams, a little later on in the year. And that just might determine who is going to win this league. But you can bet both will go into the playoffs. Last year, Norco lost to North in the CIF title game, and Centennial lost to North in the CIF semifinal. So they'll meet probably down the line again, perhaps.
Yeah, no question. You know, the thing about this league is that it was really dominated by Centennial for years. And, you know, no other team in the league was really mentioned. And whenever you talk about good teams or any breadth of playoffs or going far in the playoffs, because Centennial was so dominant. Well, Norco has risen up, they have stepped up, and they have accepted the challenge. They are not intimidated by the Centennial.
They have risen up, and here we go with this game here tonight, which should be a lot of fun. It's going to be a big crowd. Perfect night, and a lot of stars on both sides. Some D1 prospects, which we, of course, will document throughout. I know a lot of you folks tune in to high school football each and every week to see some of the players that might go to D1 schools, and you can follow their progress. A couple of obvious places to watch tonight. Norco and their line, which is going to be extremely young, but then again the line for Centennial, which is extremely talented and led by a bunch of seniors, and they will play smash mouth football themselves. There's a look at Centennial wearing their home black trimmed in red and white. And Norco will be, if you're out in this part of the country, of course, their familiar blue and white. And there are the Cougars. We are just peeking in tonight on an Inland Empire backyard brawl, y'all. And that's what it is?
It is no question about that. Entire Corona, as hard as it is to get to Corona, it seems like all Corona is here at this game.
Are you going to lock into that 91 freeway?
That is tough. The 91, the 15.
Got to get a fast track. If it wasn't for Gary the Flea Jones, I'd still be on the freeway. Norco will receive, and they will be going left to right here in quarter number 1. Glad you're with us. We are live tonight on FSN West 2, the Mountain View opener. Legier and Gerhardt will be back. Two very talented return guys and best friends will be returning for Norco. And Donald McCormick, number 18. Just anticipating, patiently waiting the signal to get this thing underway. Both sides are on their feet. A lot of atmosphere, a lot of excitement, plenty of emotion. I'm Bill McDonald, John Jackson alongside. And as I mentioned, we're hoping for a good one. This one was a 31-28 last-second win for the Cougars of Norco last year on a field goal. And you know, when we came in here, we kind of felt the atmosphere. When you talk to the folks from Norco who are the visitors, and we're actually on their side tonight, they like to say it's a Texas community feel, the way that, you know, it gets passed down from family to family to family. We'll tell you about a lot of family ties throughout the course of this evening for both of these schools.
They're so close to each other, and that's what makes it such a great game. They're so close to each other, they know each other so well, and that's what makes it even more exciting because, you know, we were had a chance to get here early and eat a little bit. And, you know, the fans are talking about this game. They make sure they get here early. It's almost like a college atmosphere between two crosstown rivals.
They were coming up to us early when we were having a little pregame meal. We're still waiting. Donald McCormick, little pooch pop, short one. Loose football. And with a flag thrown at about the 34-yard line, or is that just a marker where they will spot it? It'll be the Cougars football. Norco with Kirk Philbrook, their quarterback, but of course he's there just to run this show efficiently and do not make mistakes, because it's all about the running game here and all about Toby Gerhart, a 6'1", 216-pound junior. And JJ, we were down on the field before the game, and he is a solid 6'1", 216.
Yeah, very strong and very powerful. That is the key to his running style. Very few times you're going to see one guy bring him down, so it's going to be important for Centennial to rally to the football and gang tackle Gerhart.
Got a couple of wing backs going along with Gerhart. Here's a little misdirection play, and Jordan Campbell's got the football. Has some pretty good yardage on first down as he's up to the 39-yard line. Campbell is a sophomore, and he's stopped by Tyler Hyatt, one of the linebackers. Wiener Schnitzel brings you our offense for Norco. We mentioned the offensive line. The bell cow, David Miller. On the right side, 6'6", 210, and a senior. Played tight end last year, but he's moved over to the line to help out that part of it. Toby Gerhart is the superstar, and a couple of good sure-handed wide receivers. The problem is they don't get the football very much. They better be pretty good blockers, though.
They must.
Philbrook brings him up. It'll be second down. He will pitch it. Here's Gerhart again. Cuts it to the outside, shows that speed, bangs into a couple of tacklers. That's what we're going to see tonight. Carries them into Centennial territory. It'll be a first down, and they move the chains for the Cougars. Quickly now, let's get to the Centennial defense after that 14-yard gain, brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. Elkins, Dewberry, Espinoza, and Fraga are up front, and they're going to have to do a good job. In fact, it's really a 3-5 defense that Centennial is coming out with. Daryl Johnson very quick. Craig Harder calls the defensive plays. Donovan Brown is banged up, may not really play a lot. And Yule Hawkins, how about the fastest guy in the school? So he'll be going all over the place trying to chase down Gerhart tonight. Little inside handoff and room for Josh Adams, the freshman. 5'9", 210, where Daryl Johnson makes the stop. And I'll tell you what, JJ, 8 guys in the box, and that still might not get it done tonight.
Well, the problem is they run a lot of misdirection, so you can't flow too fast defensively. You're going to see Adams, he's going to be the wing back and come on an inside handoff. And if you're Centennial, you have to make sure that you stay disciplined in your lanes, because you cannot flow to Gerhart. Although you know he's a featured back, you cannot flow too fast to Gerhart, because either of the wing backs, Adams or Campbell, can burn you coming the other way.
On first down, pitch at Gerhart. And good anticipation and pursuit that time by the black shirts of Centennial. Craig Harder, as I mentioned, he runs the defense, makes all the calls from the inside. Number 56, also big Pete Espinoza, 300, 3 spins.
Now Centennial, normally a 4-4 defensive team. They'll mix this 3-5 look in to give them a little bit of help on the perimeter and get some of their speed guys to be able to track down some of the running backs, the running of Gerhart, Adams, and Campbell.
You know what's funny? His coach calls him a light 300. What?
Is there such a thing?
Look at him. Is he a light 300? He's the junior fridge. And he made a good play there from the middle. First throw of the game. Caught! Voorhees! He's all the way down to about the 13-yard line, where Ralph Chevron makes the stop from his safety position. Andrew Voorhees, 6 foot and a senior, and a great third down receiver. Here's his pass route.
Now watch Yule Hawkins, number 3. He thinks he has this ball. He thought he came right up in the passing lane. Voorhees steps right in front and makes this reception. Perfect pass coverage, perfect pass defense by Hawkins, but you see he misreads Voorhees as he comes right under him, makes that catch, turns it upfield.
27 yards, and JJ, if they can sprinkle that into the offense, it's going to be a long night for Centennial, because they'll have to play him honest. Keeping the football is the quarterback, Philbrook, and he is corralled for a loss. Once again, Tyler Hyatt, he is definitely a playmaker. Back in actually when they lost to Apolli, he had a big sack and forced a fumble, and He has fought back from a back injury and really earned the respect of the coaches.
Miscommunication by Philbrook and Gerhardt. It looked like Philbrook went back to hand the ball off, and Gerhardt was not anticipating it, so smart play by Philbrook to keep it, but it really hurts them because this is a running team. They can't afford long yardage situations.
If I'm Gerhardt, aren't I expecting the ball every single snap?
Every single time.
Every single snap, you could be thinking, isn't it coming to me?
Especially you're in week 5, you'll have 877 yards. You should be at least at 1,500 by now.
Once again, there's the deception, the misdirection, and Josh Adams, the freshman, on a play that worked wonders a moment ago, gets it again. The bowling ball of a freshman, and Hernandez is there to bring him down. Nick Hernandez. Talk about this, JJ, as a defender, how difficult it is. Follow the bouncing ball. Where is it?
Well, the problem is that the first person you have to stop is Gerhardt, so the defense is automatically going to flow his way. Well, the way this offense is designed, the wingbacks can get the ball at any time. You'll see them crossing throughout the night. Those inside handoffs, those counters are going to be very dangerous. Those are big game, big yardage breakers. Centennial has to stay disciplined.
Chewing up yards. Philbrook will throw again over the middle. That one's short. Bornese is again the intended receiver, and it'll be 4th down. So the impressive drive stalls for the time being, and we'll see what Norco and Coach Gerhardt decide here on 4th down. And they're going to call a timeout to discuss just that. 7:42, first quarter, first drive of the game, as the Cougars bring it down the field and now face a 4th down. We're going to take a break. When we come back after this, we'll see what Norco decides to do. It's Mount View League football, the opener tonight on our high school football game of the week.
Behind every champion is someone who believes in them. It's an all-new episode of Reality.
Word from one of
If you're Norco on 4th down. And they will go for it. Under center is Philbrook. Give it to Gerhardt. Flags are flying. He's going nowhere. Down he goes, but there are flags on both sides of the field as Upton and Hernandez combined lead the charge. Robert Upton, one of the linebackers, and Richard Smith, our referee, will tell us. That's going to be declined, and Centennial, the Huskies, the home team here tonight, will get the football for the first time. Here's that play again on 4th down. They went to the ground, JJ.
Yeah, this is surprising. I thought with the long yardage situation, there was going to be a trick play, even a misdirection play, even a halfback toss by Gerhardt. But they just went with the basic toss, and Centennial had nothing of it. Great penetration up the field by the defense.
And now Centennial.
That's Deshaun Miller, the first man to get there, but great penetration by the defense. Stops the 4th down.
Centennial, a whole lot different. They're going to spread this field, and right now that first play to Brandon Miner goes nowhere. Quarterback is Chris Scott. He took over a couple of weeks ago. The previous starter, Chris Ketting, was scheduled to sit out the 4th game of the year for disciplinary reasons. Never showed up to the game, and now he's off the team. So Chris Scott is the man. Out of shotgun. Miner will shift. Throw to the near side, going to be short, and on a hop, it's taken by Deshaun Miller. He is their #1 receiver. Incomplete. And we'll take a look at 3rd down. Quickly now the offense for Centennial. Remember, they run a no-huddle offense, so we got to get this in quickly. Are we going to get it in? Apparently we won't. 7 minutes remaining first quarter. We'll try to get those lineups in for you. But running this no huddle, it's going to be kind of a chess match between Norco and Centennial. Norco will basically come out with a base defense and then try to shift when they decide what kind of formation Centennial comes out in. That's a good second, third effort that time by Brandon Miner. And he's very close to a 1st down. In fact, he's got it, and they'll move the chains for Centennial. Quickly, here are the lineups brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. Centennial up front. They got good ones. It's Stevens and Head. In fact, Devin Head's brother is the starting center up at Stanford. His name is Brian. And handoff up the middle. The backs and receivers from Centennial will go back to the lineups. We know all about Brandon Miner. Watch out for Deshaun Miller. But Corn Tatum III, he was involved in a very bad car accident last year after the first game. And actually missed the entire season, then petitioned to get his senior year of eligibility back. He did and he is playing here this year. Ryan Grable makes the stop. By the way, I think I said Chris Kettling. It is Chris Keating who was the initial quarterback this year and then has since been dropped from the team, unfortunately for him and unfortunately for Centennial. Once again, they're all over the running back. Ray Parker. Yeah, does that name sound familiar? Ray Parker, the father. Remember the song Ghostbusters back in the 80s?
I do.
That's his dad. Who are you going to call? Come on. Here are the linebackers, and they're good ones. Thomas Henderson, Legier, who's really a safety man, and the secondary, Antoine Murray, is a good cover corner, and his job is to shadow, blanket Deshaun Miller tonight. 2nd down and 9, again out of shotgun for Chris Scott. This is Deshaun Miller. You know, anytime there's a top receiver, I know John Jackson likes to wax poetic, so go ahead and talk about the 6'1", 185-pound senior.
Well, the thing I like about Miller is not only is he a great receiver, but he also can run the ball. He's multi-dimensional. They'll even line up in the backfield at times. This kid is good enough to play receiver, running back, fullback, quarterback. He's all over the place. This is a great talent. A lot of colleges really getting interested in him.
He multitasks just like you.
Reminds me of myself. How about that?
On 3rd down and short, close to a 1st down. There is Deshaun. Offers from ASU, UTEP, and Wyoming. North Carolina and Oregon are interested and looking.
Yeah, don't be surprised. The local teams. Pete Carroll came out and took a
He
look
got
at him
him a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Don't expect Carl Durrell to come next.
Not that he's following wherever Pete goes. There's Deshaun. He's got room, and he's on his horse down about the 15-yard line. Boy, he showed some good quicks, did he? A little run after catch before Al Johnson ran him out of bounds. 1st down for Deshaun Miller.
And this is what makes him so dangerous, Billy, is that he not only is he can catch the ball and run good routes, but as a receiver, he can make things happen in the open field. Look at the acceleration and the explosion. He gets around the defender and turns up the field. He's a great threat on the outside. You'll see a lot of those bubble screens because he hasn't touched the ball 15 or 20 times tonight.
Good block by Normando Mutterskal, too, one of the wide receivers, to spring him for about 10 extra yards. And now just as Norco moved down the field with relative ease, Centennial doing much the same after a couple of big plays. Jimmy Boschma made the stop. There's Brandon Miner this season over 1,000. Amazing how some of these guys rack up yardage. Quickly, other side. Miller says onside, this side, and he is down near the goal line. Tell you, when they get to the other side of the field and down near the goal line, our angle is not the best, and he's very close, though.
That is going to be a 1st down.
Yeah, so they'll have a 4 to get in.
Big challenge for Norco. They have to get lined up defensively. As you talked about, Billy, no huddle for Centennial makes it very difficult defensively.
Up the middle, that time they're ready. Fumble, ball's on the ground as it's stripped by Jeff Henderson, and then it's into the end zone for a touchdown. Miller's there. Unconventional, they'll take the 6.
What an incredible play. What a heads-up play by Deshaun Miller. Defensively, Jeff Henderson is going to rip the ball out away from Miner. Watch him come, and now he has a tackle to strip. Right there, great play by Henderson. Unfortunately, right into the hands of Deshaun Miller. He picks it up and leans forward for a touchdown. So as you mentioned, unconventional, but 7 points nonetheless for the Huskies.
7 after the tacked on extra point. We're in the 1st quarter, 4:34 remaining in the 1st. 7-0, the Huskies are barking from Centennial.
The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine?
Are back. Once again, booting it away will be Donald McCormick. And he knows the talent that they have at the other end. So again, it's a loose football with flags down. It's down around midfield. So Centennial does not want to kick to the 2 talented returners, and they're trying to recover it themselves.
Now this ball will be recovered by Centennial, but it will come back because very heads-up play. If you see that high pooch kick by McCormick, as a receiver, you want to call it fair catch. What that does is it entitles you to catch the ball without anybody interfering. You saw the big hit by Centennial, not allowing the return man to catch the ball. That is going to be a penalty and a first down for Norco.
You know what that is? It's a well-coached team.
Very
For a guy to know that, and a guy to be a heads up and realize if they're going to pooch it like that again, put it in the air, pop it up, that's what you want to do.
That's number 23, Bryce Holland. He was calling for the fair catch, and he was interfered with. So very heads-up play, and a first down for Norco.
Bryce, who just came back from an injury. Here goes Norco again with Kirk Philbrook, the quarterback. Up the middle, Gerhardt, minimal yardage. Gerhardt is a great story. We'll get to that, but first, let's go back to the touchdown because we've got to see it again after the strip, and Deshaun Miller perfectly right there for him.
What an ironic play. You're going to see inside handoff to Minor, and he's met right at the line by Henderson. Henderson does a great job because as a defender, if you hit a running back and have him stop, the next thing to do is go for the ball in the strip. Great strip by Henderson, but it goes right into the hands of Deshaun Miller, and we stand at 7-0.
There's the scoring drive. Look at that, 12 plays and 82 yards, but a very quick 3:02 because of the no huddle. This one is probably a lateral. It's going to be taken by Voorhees, and he's got some pretty decent yardage, but a flag's going to be down. Ewell Hawkins, 5'11" junior, and as mentioned, the fastest kid in school and fearless and so fun to watch, makes the stop. But once again, the Zebras will have center stage and a holding penalty called on Norco.
There's one team that cannot afford penalty. It is Norco. Can't see the downfield blocking. They might have got number 11, Tom Martin, with that hold against Hawkins. They put the ball back 10 yards. But the one thing that Norco can ill afford tonight is penalties, and that's because this is a running team. They want to run the ball. It's a misdirection with the wingbacks. They are not good in long yardage situations. They need to avoid the penalties to stay out of those long yardage situations.
The coach's son in the tailback position, but instead it goes to big Jordan Campbell, and he busts it up the gut. Now kicks it outside. 1, 2, 3 tacklers down, and he's got it all the way down in to about the 30-yard line where Nick Hernandez has it. Jordan Campbell, sophomore transfer from Rubidoux High School.
See, although Gerhardt has a ton of yards, 877 in 5 games, it's the complement that makes him so effective. Jordan Campbell and Josh Adams, they are both effective at that wingback position. They're the size of fullbacks, but they can run as well.
Remember at the start, we were going to say it's all in the family? How about Campbell? His dad was also a running back at Norco, and we'll get to the Legier-Gerhardt combination a little bit later on, too. That goes way back also with fathers in high school. Craig Carter makes the stop on the run, and that's the quarterback, Kirk Philbrook. He can run the option, and most importantly, believe it or not, as a quarterback, he can block. He's a good blocker.
Has to do a lot from that quarterback position. Whenever you're in the offense, it's multi-dimensional as this one with those wingbacks, but oftentimes the quarterback is asked to lay some blocks at times. Good runner in Philbrook, already over 100 yards himself this season.
Once again, Centennial, if they're keen on Gerhardt, they really haven't seen him a lot. And Norco been mixing it up, but they do toss it to the superstar back. He has those legs turning, those legs moving. You can see it's going to take 3 or 4 players to bring him down around the 25-yard line. Tyler Hyatt led the charge, bringing it back. All right, keys to the game.
Well, you see the Phenom factory keys to the game. Well, for Norco, they have to pound Gerhardt. They need to wear down this Centennial defense. The only way to do that is to give it to Gerhardt and slow down the Minor problem. That Minor problem, Brandon Minor, already over 1,000 yards this year. If they don't, now I didn't say stop, Billy. I said slow down. You got to slow him down because you will not stop him. Take a look at the Phenom factory keys of the game for Centennial. Defensive penetration so far, it's been on and off. They have to get in the backfield. Balance and ball control, they need as well on offense. They have to mix up the plays as well as control the clock.
Well, mixing up the plays also, the opposition, Norco, and Josh Adams gets it between the tackles, and that's where he does most of his damage. Pete Espinoza again, the 6'1", 300-pound senior in the middle. There he is, number 50, Fraga. Got some big bodies out there. 295, 300, 250.
Those big bodies can cause chaos as long as they are driving up the field and eliminating the running lanes. Espinoza, 3 spins, Newberry, 295.
They're going for it again on 4th down, this time in 4, and it's an option play, and in trouble is Kirk Philbrook, and he needs a magic potion to get out of that one, and he won't be able to. And the playmaker, Tyler Hyde, along with Jeff Fraga, all there. DJ, Daryl Johnson, just good defensive pursuit.
And watch the pressure up the field by this defense. We talk about penetration. This play is spoiled in the backfield because of the penetration by the linebacker. Tyler Hyatt, number 41, right in the backfield. He blows up the running back. Watch 41 right of your screen. He's going to come up and make Philbrook go wide. That allowed time for the defense to pursue and bring him down short of a first down.
Excellent. Robert Upton was there to clean things up also for Coach Matt Logan. And Centennial on top 7-0. Time winding down first quarter. We are live tonight in Corona. Big defensive play. Big, huge defensive hit and play by Al Johnson. Oh.
Johnson, the free safety, 5'6", 155 pounds, and he brought all 155 to the party right there.
That was Earl Moore, I believe, who it was Yule Hawkins who had it, not Moore, Yule Hawkins. And he is the player who is down right now for Centennial. 50 seconds remaining here in the quarter. It'll be second down and about 13.
Looks like that Yule has the wind knocked out of him. Johnson came up so fast from the secondary, I think it really caught Hawkins a little bit by surprise. He didn't see him coming. Watch the penetration. Now, as Hawkins starts to turn the corner, just a flash right there, number 1 comes into your screen, and that's a picture-perfect tackle. It looked like he got him right in the rib cage area and might have knocked the wind out of him. But a very effective play by Al Johnson, flying up from that free safety position.
Not a big guy, 5'6", 155, and will really, for the most part of the night, be assigned to double up on Deshaun Miller. There is, as you can see, heavy hitter, small package, and Yule Hawkins, and they're going to need him on both sides of the football, is up and going to the sideline.
The way he's walking, it appears to be
okay.
Okay, it looks like the wind might have got knocked out.
A little bit of a swagger, I think, still.
I've been there. I have been there.
It's either a swagger or a little bit of dizziness. On second down with the clock moving again and 40 seconds remaining. 3 wide receivers to the near side, 4 wides altogether. Out of shotgun, inside handoff. Minor grabbed around the ankles and the legs, and down he goes after maybe a yard. Brandon Minor. Henderson and Legier make the stop. There's Kyle Legier, great athlete. I mentioned one of Toby Gerhardt's best buddies. And last year, when Gerhardt went down for a while, ran for over 1,500 yards, but doing most of his damage on the defensive end this year.
Amazing. 1,500 yards for Legier, 3,000 yards for Gerhardt.
Yeah, you do the math. 3,500 for coaching between 2 guys. That'll do it for the quarter. First 12 minutes, history here. 2 rivals going at it. We certainly hope you're enjoying it because you're dialed into FSN West 2. It's the high school football game of the week. All hands on deck. The spirit of the Inland Empire. Norco Centennial with the Huskies up 7-0.
I started the chili dog diet back in January, and it's the first New Year's resolution I've ever actually kept. I read the book, totally inspired, and I am downing 20 chili dogs a week now. I feel like I'm finally doing something, just for me.
It's so easy to stay on program when an extra-large all-beef chili dog is just $1.29 at Wiener Schnitzel. Because when you win, we win on the
Reputation, high school football, and
does a lot of things with his football team, including punting. And he has a 3rd down catch of 16 yards, and the no-huddle offense is back at work again.
A nice ball by Chris Scott. Look how he just fires it right in the zone as a receiver. You want to get that quick release, get the ball in there. That's a nice ball by Scott, and most importantly, it's him down in the numbers so he doesn't lay those receivers out.
Here's play action. Over the middle, overthrown after the play action to Brandon Minor, the intended receiver is Deshaun Miller. JJ, I'm sure you'll be able to dissect how they're bringing these plays in because you've got to be focused if you're a Centennial player, making sure that you can understand and recognize formation and play.
It's a no-huddle offense. You see all the players look to the sideline for the play that is being signaled in by the coach. Now watch the receivers. After they get the play from the coach, they'll look down, at a wristband or a band that they have in their waist to check the play, then everybody's on the same page.
Once again, quarterback keeper after the fake. A possible pitch, a very late and tardy and bad decision, and it's going to be taken by Norco. Tell you what, not a good decision by Chris Scott. He was down, Earl Moore was there, Earl Moore's got the football. Not Earl Morrill, but Earl Moore, and it's going to be Norco with the turnover.
Well, one thing that has to be a concern for Centennial is ball security. Scott has 3 fumbles already this year. This will be number 4 that is on the ground, and he's just trying to make too much happen.
Yeah, got to go down.
You know, Chris Scott, he's only a junior, still learning the ropes, but one thing you learn as a quarterback, ball security first and foremost. That time just trying to make a play, trying to get it to the star Brandon Minor. Makes an ill-advised pitch, ball's on the ground. Norco takes over.
He absolutely knows it too as he contemplates on the sideline. Now Norco down 7-0, just the start of the second quarter with it at their own 47. Gerhardt, maybe a yard. Well, they know all about Gerhardt at Centennial. For Norco, he ran for a tidy 376 yards in the game last year. And you know, coming into this season, he had over 4,200 yards, which means he's got about 5,000 right now. He could, before it's all done, John Jackson, challenge the state total, which is 8,500 yards. Low Booker set that one.
No question, I think that record falls to Toby Gerhardt. I think they've been using him modestly this year.
Little deception again in the backfield. And that's Toby Gerhardt again, and Robert Upton is there.
So far, I'm impressed with the tackling from Centennial. They have been able to wrap up Gerhardt. I didn't think that one man was going to be able to bring him down all night long, but so far, Centennial, they're doing a nice job fitting up and tackling.
You know, I like the play of their linebackers right now. They're going and getting them. Hyatt, Upton, Harder, Hernandez, Johnson. Those are active linebackers. There's one of their DNs, Jeff Fraga. 3rd down now. Norco is 0 for 2. Gerhardt only 14 yards on 7 carries. He's going to get a try again on 3rd down and about 7. He's not even going to be close. He is into Centennial territory, but he's down at the 46-yard line. Set up a 4th down and around 4. Tyler Hyatt again, the 5'11 senior, in there on the stop.
Just a basic toss. But the one thing the Centennial's doing a nice job is not only flowing to the ball, but getting off of blocks. They're playing more of a read and react defense in this 4-4 look, and their defensive ends, their defensive linemen have been able to fit into the offensive linemen, shed them, get off, and pursue Gerhardt to make tackles.
There's the punt. Derek Vasquez is back and waiting and signaling for a fair catch, which he collects at around the 20-yard line. By the way, coming up after the game, it's the Southern California Sports Report with Van Earl Wright, who's in his final days at FSN. So tell us what we got going tonight.
We got Shaq, his second look in Miami. The Bruins and the Trojans prepare for a big weekend. High school highlights on the scoreboard show. That's coming up at 11 o'clock.
Right here, right now, you're going to agree with me. Lakers going to miss the big fella.
Oh, no question about it.
It's going to be a different year. Here's Minor. About 4 yards after that 28-yard punt. Legier makes the stop. Well, you know where TJ, Terrell Jackson, was explosive, John Jackson, this guy's more of a workhorse back. Brandon Meyer, 5'8", 200 pounds.
Yeah, he's more physical. He's going to be more north and south in comparison to Terrell Jackson. Terrell Jackson, a scat back that can break the long way at any time, which he did continuously here at Centennial. Brandon Meyer, different style.
I was introduced to Terrell Jackson during the Shrine game we had this summer. He scored 4 touchdowns. Quickly to Deshaun Miller. Well, they do that one quickly, don't they? And they better get out there. One guy's not going to bring Deshaun down. That might just well be the entire team out there making that play for Norco defensively. And, you know, they are led, the Cougars, by Rainey Klein, the 31-year defensive coordinator who is there all the years under Gary Campbell. And he's known for mixing things up, too. He teaches AP classes, does the D coordinator at Norco, so he comes up with some wild, crazy, ingenious ideas in that head of his.
Yeah, so much that the players and even the coaches don't know everything that's in the game plan until Wednesday or Thursday, the night before the game, because there's so much going on defensively for this Norco team.
Well, last year they held Terrell Jackson to 76 yards, whereas we mentioned before, Gerhardt went for 370 plus.
Terrell Jackson, one of my favorite players.
Love that guy, don't you? Yeah.
Been able to cover in high school game of the week. Just a, just a great personality, comes from a great family, great background. I just love the way he played the game. He always played hard, he played with great respect.
Rushes on, passes away, and it's caught. Far side, complete again to a Mariscal. Number 82, 7.5 remaining. Stephen Thomas was there to make the stop.
Now this is a 4-receiver offense, so it's very important for them to control the clock and keep Norco honest by completing these short passes, allow the defense to come up and sort of take some of the pressure off of Brandon Miner, who they want to get the ball.
Close to a first down. Need to get to the 40-yard line. Legier once again in on the tackle. There's a big number 34, as mentioned already, over 1,000 yards, but no surprise to anyone. They know and they knew, did Centennial, that he had this kind of talent. Kind of slipped a little bit there at the end.
Now some short passes for Chris Scott, and I like the play calling, and the reason is, remember, he just fumbled on the last series. You need to get his confidence back, so I like what Matt Logan is doing. Some short passes, get his confidence up, get your signal caller back in the flow of the game.
Well, also, with those quick passes, not a chance for him really to blitz him. Here on second down, he's going to get a first down, and you would think with a young quarterback, only a couple of games in, they'd disguise all sorts of intricate defenses and bring the house more often than not.
Yeah, well, there's a couple problems. First of all, you have Deshaun Miller at receiver. You can't, if you blitz, remember, there's always going to be man coverage behind that, and also Brandon Miner. So you can't get too caught up in pressuring the quarterback, because first and foremost with this offense, it starts with stopping Brandon Miner.
Centennial leads 7-0. Deshaun Miller recovered a fumble in the end zone for the only score. Here's that option play that they fumbled on before. This time the smart play kept by Chris Scott. He's got some legs, but a flag is down, and it could be a hold all the way back at the 42-yard line. Earl Moore again. There he is, number 3, in a very physical corner. Good run support corner up there to make the stop finally, but this one is coming back.
Yeah, Billy, but this is how you develop a young quarterback. Matt Logan realizing the situation. Chris Scott, he fumbled on the last possession. Do you abandon the play? Do you abandon the option play? No. You come right back to it, instill your confidence, let the quarterback know you still have confidence in him. That's a good play call. I like that play call for a number of reasons.
And remember, they're going behind a very experienced offensive line. 5 seniors on the offensive line, 4 returning starters for Centennial. You'd love that as a coach. But penalties right now, Centennial 3 for 30, so it's cost them. They need to get into Norco territory to the 48-yard line for a first down. So some significant yardage to get it out to the near side. It's caught. Cord Tatum the third. And there is Tatum. And he's got it to the 47-yard line, where again Legier makes the stop.
What a great story that Tatum is. Last year he was in a car accident after week 1, game 1. He missed all of last season due to that car accident, so this is a comeback year for him. He had to petition the CIF for another year of eligibility. Of course, he got that.
Thankful, grateful for the opportunity, and thankful also Centennial having number 34 in their lineup. He's going to have enough for a first down. Forward progress will be marked down to the 46-yard line, and they'll move the chains for the 4-1 Huskies of Centennial.
We talked about Brandon Miner transferring from Long Beach Poly. How rare is that? Usually players are transferring into Long Beach Poly, not out.
Big hit in the backfield, but Miner had the football and he's out of bounds. Well, I'll tell you what Chris Scott was saying. What about me? I just got leveled, but I didn't have the ball.
So that's Dylan Libbert. Watch this hit by Libbert. He's going to come right into your screen there, lift and separate on Chris Scott.
5:46 remaining, second quarter. Most of the pundits, and there are a few out here in the Inland Empire, figured this would be a pretty high-scoring game, but right now the defenses are playing well. Brandon Miner, once again, had a big week against Clovis West. And let's not underscore that win against Clovis West. That is a powerhouse program.
great program in Clovis West, and that's the one thing that you see a lot of coaches in Southern California doing, taking on the challenge of some of the schools that are not directly in the area for that big game, able to have the kids transfer, get a good experience by going outside of the normal Southern California to play. Clovis West, as you mentioned, a great powerhouse, and that brings great respect when you can play with them.
On a third down play, guns over the middle, and a little gun shy was Deshaun Miller, with the defender bearing down on him, and it'll be fourth down from the 44-yard line. In a possible go-for situation, or will they punt it away?
I think the right move here is to punt. This is a field position game. Both teams really trying to establish the run. Centennial throwing the ball a little bit more than Norco, but ideally they want to run the ball. They want to get Miners started. And in order to do that, you need to pound it. Field position plays a big part, especially when you have running teams.
There's Norm back to punt. Norm Mariscal, and Legier is ready to return. Ball will be delivered at about the 45 of the Huskies. And a flag is down, perhaps a delay. And that's exactly what we have, taking too much time. This will go 5 yards against Centennial. Well, before last season, Centennial had won 4 league titles in a row, and then Norco came up and bit them. But the Huskies, CIF champs in 2000, in 2002. And under Coach Logan, this has become a top program in this part of the Southland. Had some very prominent recent alumni. Terrell Jackson, we mentioned him. Mike Bass, right, who's over in Hawaii. And Big Bad Terry Richardson, who gets the Trojans tomorrow at the Coliseum. Bad snap. Pretty good kick. Tell you what, this is going to work out wonderfully for Centennial. Inside the 10, down to the 7.5-yard line. 41-yard kick by Norm Mariscal. Take a break, and we come back. Norco gets their hands on the football again.
Hey, grown man, Jack's got something cool for you. It's
own fumble, falling upon it in the end zone, Deshaun Miller. But really, the story, Centennial's defense and the way they've been able to control Toby Gerhardt.
That has been the story, and how surprising, what's surprising about it, they've been able to penetrate into the backfield and get Gerhardt before he can get up enough steam. So the challenge is to get Gerhardt going north and south. So far, Centennial's done a nice job of getting in the backfield.
Inside handoff, Jordan Campbell, maybe a couple. Campbell has been nursing a very sore ankle. He's out there working it tonight.
Jeff Fraga, coming from his defensive end spot, able to make that tackle on Campbell.
There's a look at the Norco offense. Philbrook, the signal caller. As mentioned, he just has to be a steady influence, be a leader, don't make any blunders, doesn't have to be spectacular. But he is developing into a pretty good passing threat when he does let it go, which is few and far between. But he will throw it here. Swing it out. That's a lateral. And just avoiding at the goal line the tackle. And out just short of the 10-yard line to the 8.
Daryl Johnson had a shot to tackle Legier for safety. Ooh. Philbrook looks down the field. There's good coverage, so he comes to his outlet, which is the right thing to do. But you see right there, Daryl Johnson just missed Legier. If he sticks him right there, it's a safety in the end zone.
Well, Gerhardt on the bench during the series, getting taped. Banged up a little. And that's why his buddy Legier is in there.
They need him on the field.
Don't they? But right now, he's nowhere to be found at 3rd and 11. And they'll stick safely to the ground. And banging up is Jordan Campbell, and Centennial stands to get great field position after this forthcoming punt from Norco.
Well, the one thing is that if you don't have the power in this offense, if the power of the off-tackle play is not working, then the counter plays are not going to work as well. So right now, Norco, they need to get that power game going off tackle, and then you'll set up the counter play.
Well, they got a couple of very young offensive linemen in the interior, do Norco, and Adam Tello and Garth Gerhardt. But you know, if you're going to develop anything in Norco, it's going to be interior lineman. Alan Kruger, the coaches the offensive line, he's a legend around here. In fact, every left tackle and left guard seemingly gets a scholarship. Here once again is a mishandled snap, and it's going to be a safety. So a bungled punt. And nowhere for Legier to run or hide. It's a deuce, and it's 9-0. Just a little bit high and maybe to the outside. Safety. See you in a minute.
Monday on the Sports List. Gibson's LA Miracle. Hank passes the Babe.
To the game.
And getting work done on that lower leg.
Looks like they have a boot on his leg. Might be trying to give him a quick ice treatment, see if they can get the swelling down on his ankle. Looks like his right ankle they're working on. They need him back.
Yeah, an incredible story, Gerhardt. Great athlete, great student. Here's the free kick taken. Minimal yardage that time off of it. And that is Hernandez who had it.
College football Saturday returns this week with a triple header. First, Colorado takes on Iowa State. Then you'll see the 23rd ranked Texas A&M taking on 16th ranked Oklahoma State. Then in the nightcap, Stanford looks to upset Washington State. It all begins 10:30 a.m. Pacific, only on FSN West.
Check it out on FSN. Couple of local teams, of course, with some good games tomorrow. Arizona State and USC at 12:30. And then at Strawberry Canyon, are the Bruins for real? We're going to find out. They play the Cal Bears at 4 o'clock tomorrow. Here is Minor spinning. Gets maybe 4 decent first down yardage to the 44-yard line for Brandon Minor. Cheatham gets the stop. EJ is his name, number 80, and the boot is on, and it doesn't look like Toby's coming in anytime soon, does it?
And that is bad news for Norco. We'll see how they respond.
Yeah, psychologically and, of course, just the physical part of losing your star.
And now you ask Legier to go both ways.
Well, Legier did it last year, of course, at times, but there's Norm Mariscal again, who's obviously been involved quite a bit so far in this one. Number 82, Centennial now faces a third down.
And let's watch how Norco responds with the injury to Gerhardt. A lot of times when your star gets hurt, one of two things.
Well, chasing in the background, and they're going to get it for a sack. Down at the 44-yard line, maybe no gain. Akin and paramount and amounts to a sack.
Like I was saying, it's one of two things. Either your team is going to rally behind their injured player, the star player, or else they're going to, slip back and think that it's an impossible hill to climb. But in this case, I think Norco has enough weapons that they can stay close to this game.
4th down and 6. You would think that Centennial with 1:10 is going to punt the football away. They might call a timeout right before a penalty would be called, so right before the play clock would expire. Timeout is called. Decent time management. First timeout called by the Huskies of Centennial. Here's a reminder that coming up at the half, and that is just moments away here live on FSN West 2. We'll have a Southern California Sports Report update. That's Van Earl in the studio, and we will recap the first half. So a lot coming at you. Terry Richardson, former player at Centennial. We mentioned that he'll be playing for ASU tomorrow.
What a two-way star he was here at Centennial High School. He did it as a receiver. He was able to catch the ball, and the big receiver, able to break tackles. That's what he's doing now currently for Arizona State. He's a compliment receiver, you can believe that. I think he's a star of the future. He also played defensive back, and he's one of those lockdown cornerbacks, one of those guys that can shut down half of the field. To see some of the things that he did here, he holds the Husky reception record for a single season at 55 and yards at 973. Only a sophomore, 22 receptions, 3 touchdowns, looking to add to that. tomorrow afternoon.
Well, you think SC's going to win the game, but you think it's going to be close, don't you?
I don't think it's going to be a big score, wide margin. I think SC wins, but I don't think it'll be as wide a margin as the experts that have a 12, 13-point favorite make the trophy.
Well, you're an expert.
I am. That's why I said they'll win by touchdown.
Multitasking. Off the left foot of Norm Mariscal. That one not as pretty, perhaps, as the last one where we had to certainly improvise. But the result, once again, pretty darn good. No return, 36 yards. Thank you, Greg, on the punt. And with a 9-0 deficit, Norco will come out. Remember, they're not the kind of a team that can just get it down big play-wise quickly on you, especially when their big play running back is right there, hurt and out of the game.
I expect Todd Gerhardt, the head coach, to really sit on this here, go into the half at a 9-0 deficit and try to rally his troops. You have to tell your team, look, we had a fumble, we caused a fumble that they were able to recover for a touchdown, and they also gave up a ill-advised safety. So Norco, they're in this game.
Philbrook throws only black shirts in the vicinity.
Dangerous. You do not want to turn the ball over here.
Chevron was the closest player, and he plays safety for Centennial. Now, interesting about Chevron, he's not an intimidating looking guy, but he's one of those guys, JJ, plays so well you just can't take him off the field, and there he is almost with the interception.
Yeah, and that was the thing, and when it came to camp, and Chevron only a junior, when they went to camp, he was a guy competing for a job, and every time he just continued to make plays, play after play, always consistent in the right spot, making plays. So Coach Logan said, hey, I got to get this guy in the lineup, and he's just starting free safety.
Yeah, you can almost see that. Take the pads off of him. Looks like just any other kid will be walking around campus. Here's another throw and incomplete. That one was intended for Adams, who is out of that wing-back position. You can call him a fullback sometimes, a tight end at others. Now 3rd and 10, Centennial's got to be thinking, hey, we can maybe get this football back with some decent time. So I would suspect if Norco doesn't get any yardage, and I think they might even keep it on the ground, Centennial would be wise to call a quick timeout.
No question. I think that if you are Norco, though, you need to run the ball in this situation and force Centennial to use their last time out of the half so they don't get the ball back with any timeouts and room to spare.
So what are they going to do? They're going to run it like we suspected to Legier. He's churning, moving, and Centennial will stop the clock with the timeout. And 31 seconds remaining. Daryl Johnson, boys, he electric from that linebacker position. He's one of those linebackers that you don't mind when he takes chances and freelances at times, because he can really do a job for you.
A big play linebacker. He has a great motor. He has a great sense. We saw him almost tackle this year in the end zone for a safety. A great sense of awareness. I like the way that Daryl Johnson plays. 205 pounds, only a junior. This week, JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy.
Who are those guys?
They hit the road and set up shop to broadcast America's #1 pregame show. Live from Foxborough, home of the undefeated Patriots. Plus, Jimmy counts down his 10 greatest teams of all time. Plus, Ty Law goes 10 yards with Terry Bradshaw. Fox NFL Sunday returns this week at noon, 9 a.m. Pacific.
By the way, all of our counterparts at the daddies of the network, the Big Fox,
Right.
they're all up in New England with the Red Sox and the Yankees, and the big game at Foxborough with the Seahawks and the Patriots. The longest.
Is it 20 straight wins?
Is it 19? I think it's 19.
It is 19. You're right.
Yeah.
It is 19.
19 now. Remember, I disowned the NFL when the Rams left.
Long time ago.
Long time ago. Still bitter. Here's Derek Vasquez. Going to give him some good room. What great field position and all sorts of football time with 20 seconds remaining. Courtney Campbell finally had to bring him down, but Centennial wants more. They're hungry here at the end of the half.
And that was the danger of not running the ball at the end of the half and going in at the half just down by 9. You give the ball back to an explosive offense. A great return is going to give them great field position. So now if you're Norco, you're lucky to get out of this situation without giving up any further points. The good news is Centennial, no timeouts left.
1st down and 10. Here's a give up the middle. Minor still going. 1st down. Down at around the 15-yard line. They do have one more timeout. That is their final timeout. So they're defensively, they called the second one. Remember the first one they called when they were going to punt before, and they called it right before the play clock expired. So this is their final timeout, 13 seconds. Here's the deception again. Pretty good.
Little, I don't know if you call it an inside handoff, but a delayed draw to Minor. Of course, Norco expecting him to pass, so there will be seams in the middle.
An underhand Statue of Liberty play.
I don't think that Matt Logan wanted to call a timeout in that case. Remember, in high school football, the clock stopped after a first down, and this is a no-huddle offense already, so they were already up at the line, ready to call a play.
Well, here's what I understand. It's not Vanner. Vanner will be around later on for the Southern California Sports Report, but at halftime, it's Lindsey and Sean. Lindsey Soto, Sean Farnham. Well, he was all into you last year, saying that you were flipping the script. He was liking you during that update last year.
I pulled everything out of the bag. Use everything, use it all up in one night.
Here we go with the seconds remaining. Throw, end zone, caught! Touchdown! Mariscal, great catch, wonderful throw from Chris Scott, and with just 7 seconds remaining in the half, Centennial's on the board again.
You cannot give quick strike offenses, 4-receiver, wide open spread offenses another chance. This is a good ball by Scott, but a tremendous catch by Mariscal. Look how he holds on, concentrates. Let's see if he gets that knee inbounds. He's at the back of the end zone.
Let's see if the ball hits the turf too, or does he have it?
You know, he's in right there, no question about it. Touchdown, Mariscal.
Great catch. Extra point upcoming. You see that there are 8 seconds remaining. And Norco, boy, they're going to get some soul searching and head scratching at halftime. And Gerhardt still on the training table, not looking anywhere close to coming back into the game. And you know, it's interesting. You think about Norco and you think about their head coach, Todd Gerhardt. He's, of course, the father of the injured back. So not only is he thinking, how am I going to get my football team back, but, you know, there's a part of him that's thinking, you know, my son is hurt and how's he doing? The father thinking about the son.
Not to mention his other son, Garth Gerhardt, is also the starting center.
Right, all over the place.
But look at this touchdown. This is a nice ball by Scott. Over the defense, drops it in. Great concentration by Mariscal. Quick strike offenses. I think this Chris Scott, he's going to be a good one. He has a nice touch. You see him lay it over the top of the defenders, right in the seam. And that's the toughest place to complete a pass, at the back of the end zone when defenders are standing in front. So that's a nice touch ball by Chris Scott.
2 plays, 27 yards. So everything going Centennial's way here in the first half. And you know, it's only appropriate that they're pitching a shutout because we were talking about how great the Husky defense been playing even when Toby Gerhardt was in the game.
How about this tandem next year? You got Chris Scott at quarterback, Mariscal only a junior. He'll return. Derek Vasquez, the punt returner, to return the long punt to put them in position, only a sophomore. That's Mariscal's first touchdown.
Tell you what, they're going to have a good tailback too in Tracy Johnson, who we might get to see a little bit later on. But there's Coach Todd Gerhardt, was a fullback at Cal State Fullerton, and his son. By the way, Todd, you can see him before. He's just got football player and coach written all over him. He was a former player, played in the USFL with the Denver Gold.
How about that?
I just remember the Southern California Sun. Oh, that was the World Football League. The LA Express was in the USFL.
I'll talk about the Gerhardt family. Todd and his wife Lori, both in the Norco Hall of Fame.
Yes, they are.
How about that?
Jordan Campbell. His wife played basketball. And Logan is there too. Matt Logan on the other side, the Centennial head coach. All right, it is halftime. 16-0 Huskies. So what is it time now? It's time to go to Staples Center in the studio, as they usually are, as is our policy. We throw it up on FSN West 2 to Sean Farnham, and of course, directing all the traffic, Miss Lindsey Soto. Lindsey?
Thank you, Billy. Lindsey Soto and Sean Farnham, as you mentioned, here with the special halftime edition of the High School Spotlight Scoreboard. Lots to
bit earlier on in the week, but they really downplayed that. But obviously, a little more serious as he aggravated it, and we don't know if he's coming back in the second half.
Yeah, no question. And what a big blow that will be to Norco if they're unable to get him back. He's the main man in this offense. He's the man that makes this offense go. They have Legier. Remember, he rushed for 1,500 yards a year ago, so they got to lean on his back a little bit more in this second half.
Still, even with Gerhardt when he was in the game, Centennial's defense is playing great football, and they're on top right now, pitching a shutout. Let's get to the scoring plays, and very fortunate for Centennial to get on the board first.
Yeah, after a strip ball, the ball stripped away.
Here. Yeah! Are we?
Get going on.
Had to make a quick run to the car and make sure I bundled up for the second half.
It's you, Nanook of the North. Come on, we're going to start a little bonfire up here in a few minutes. This is a great facility. By the way, the opposite side of us, a brand new grandstand press box that they have had many years in the thinking, and finally the construction phase, and it was just completed this year, and they're very proud of it here at Centennial. I think they're very proud of their program, quite obviously, over the last few years and the way they played this first half. They are on top 16-0, and a lot of this second half will rely on whether Gerhardt will play or not. There's the Husky. I saw a couple of them over on the other side. Actually, Gerhardt, as we got a report, Gary Paskowitz, our promoter, if you will, and man about everything, has learned that he was in the locker room, coming out late, bringing him out now, getting treatment, very last minute, on an ankle that he hurt earlier in the week and aggravated tonight. But right now, Centennial will get the football to start the third quarter, clad in their home black uniforms, and they'll be moving left to right here in quarter number 3. Centennial 4-1 on the year. Norco undefeated, 5-0, and they'll onside kick it. Won't even get close to going the distance. So Centennial will be the beneficiary of the mistake off of the kick. And they will have a great field position. So Norco obviously just trying to jumpstart themselves, John Jackson, right there with the first.
Right, this is a game. This is a game of momentum and field position, and coming out of the locker room, Coach Todd Gerhardt trying to change the momentum and field position immediately with that onside kick.
By the way, in your play-by-play debut for us, I know you did a few other games, but I heard they dropped an onside kick on you right at the opening kickoff, and you were like catching up, playing catch up from the
reacted like you just did on that last one.
What? Wait, what? Oh,
just live in the present.
I love it when you call me. You're not supposed to do that to start out. I'm admiring your jacket. It's called envy. Second down upcoming. Once again, Centennial coming out in no huddle offense. Kyle Legier makes the stop. Quickly, Scott, who was impressive for that half, gives it up to Minor. Legier again stops Brandon Minor. And Legier is going to have to go both ways. Running back and safety to make this a successful second half. There he is, number 21. By the way, his dad, Rick, was a fullback for Norco when Todd Gerhardt, the head coach, was a running back, and it was funny. They were like best friends back then too, and if Todd is a tailback at 100 yards, they would switch positions so Rick could get 100, and there's nearly an interception by Al Johnson, who's fit to be tied. Can't believe it. He was looking at about 65 yards going the other way, but we told you it was all in the family, so Legier's dad and the head coach's dad goes way back too.
A lot of good athletes. Watch this. Al Johnson stands right there, hits him right in the number.
Worst place, right there.
And that's what has to be taken back. That's been the difference in this game. Centennial has been able to come up with big plays, make the plays that have been needed, like that Mariscal catch in the back of the end zone. And Norco just has not. Onside kick and, of course, that interception. That would have really changed the momentum of the second half.
Kevin Case makes the stop on Minor. As John Jackson alluded to, Minor spent last year as a wide receiver when T-Jack was running all over the yard. He's 17 for 72 and a decent average of 4.5. You know, we get so used to those glossy averages of running backs in high school, 8.5, 10, 15 yards a carry. You know, that's a worker like 4.5. Now they've got the interception. That's Antoine Murray. Antoine Murray near midfield, and they finally get the break they've been looking for. That great cover corner has already returned a pick for a touchdown this year. He's got another interception, and Norco a little momentum.
Exactly what they needed coming out of the half. The ball is tipped, actually hits the receiver right in the numbers and falls right in the hands of Murray. Watch this. This is a nice ball by Scott. It hit number 9, Corn Tatum, right in his hands. That ball should have been caught, but Murray standing in the perfect position, gets the interception, and we'll see if this Norco team can start to rally, see if this offense can get on track.
Kirk Philbrook, the quarterback. Good protection, hit as he throws, and finally could have been, should have been caught by Voorhees. Had it in his hands. And a pretty good throw by Philbrook, but he took a shot low, and you can see he's coming up limping a little bit. He took that shot right around the knee and the ankle.
Nice job by Philbrook, standing in, stand strong in the pocket. You saw the defender go down at his knees, and that ball is right on the money. A pass that Andrew Voorhees will tell you he should catch every time.
Every time, not 9 out of 10. How about 10 out of 10?
Just a little lack of concentration on Voorhees' part.
Philbrook, only 1 for 5. Legier in the open field. Down to the 38.
And that's what this offense does so well. Quick hitting plays off tackle. That sets everything else up. A toss, this is a power sweep. Whenever you see the quarterback turn the pitch, Billy, there's a tendency for the defense to just run wide, assuming it's a sweep. This is a power sweep. It's really an off-tackle power play. Legier gets into the secondary in a hurry.
Well, maybe Norco abandoned what they do best. Give the ball to the tailback a little bit in the first half. Now they're just giving it to him. This is what makes them go, and Legier's got it again. Yardage, looking for the end zone. He's close, he's down, right near the goal line.
Oh, man.
You know, they abandoned that, like I'm saying. They had a lot of misdirection. They gave it to the wingman. They didn't give it to the tailback a lot. Give it to the guy that works, and that's the tailback position.
And you're going to see Philbrook, the quarterback, right there, lead block. He actually is the distraction that allows Legier to get into the secondary. It's a lead block by the quarterback. That's a big play. Norco, they're rolling.
And they use a timeout. They are right at the goal line. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. Norco looking to get on the board.
Save up to 80% by buying Factory Direct.
Plus, Phil Jackson gives us the lowdown.
It's a couple of those for a little healthy ankle right now. Right back. Here's Legier, his buddy, for a touchdown. Well, he says, as long as my friend can take it in, all right, I'll take those units back. I don't need it. Legier scores from 1 yard out, and Norco, dare I say it, back in the football game.
And no question that the offense now started to go downhill, and that's what this offensive line likes to do. They get going north and south, downhill. Forget the counters, forget all the other stuff. Let's go right at them.
Do you agree with what I was saying? Sometimes you can just overthink the game plan, and it's just, you know, now they're going for 2. Philbrook throws, incomplete. So the 2-point conversion missed. So chasing early. Norco with the 2-point conversion. And it's now 16-6. It's a 10-point lead for Centennial. We've just played a little over 2 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. Now there's your hero of the last drive, capped off by a Legier 1-yard run. Kyle is his first name.
We talked about this offensive line. It's a young offensive line, but look how they come down here. Look at the scene. parting of the Red Sea. Legier stays nice and low, breaks one tackle on his way into the end zone. Offensive line of Dahlback, Campbell, Gerhardt, Cowper, and Miller. Young. 2 seniors, 2 juniors, and a sophomore in Gerhardt. They did a nice job blocking on that last
I'll
drive.
tell you what, they lost 3 members of last year's offensive line. 3 of them D1 scholarships, 2 to Fresno and 1 to UNLV. Adam McDowell and Cameron Harris, the whole left side of the offensive line, graduated. Remember Pat Harlow, former Trojan, is a former Cougar.
Great history of developing linemen here at Norco, and I think this team is no exception. Look for Dahlbach to be one of the stars of the future. He's only a junior.
The aforementioned Allen, the line coach, Sean Miller, moving outside, still on his feet, trying to cut back, go this way, but he goes that way and down at the 40, make it the 37-yard line. There is a, oh, that was the tee, not a flag. Here's a reminder, next week, what do we got? Because you're going to be calling the action.
Next week on the High School Game of the Week, we take our show to the South Bay as Peninsula takes on Maricopa in a battle of Bay League rivals. All the action kicks off next Friday, 7 p.m. right here on FSN West 2, your home of high school sports in the Southland.
Just a reminder, when JJ goes out at night, that's what he looks like, whereas that little outfit gets a lot of play. Here comes Minor to the 46-yard line. So now trying to bang out some more. Antoine Murray, E.J. Cheatham. And for Cheatham, it's his first year playing football. But, he's been great on special teams. And for Murray, you know, he's an interesting story. Antoine Murray, who had the interception before, he was recruited to play football in the 10th grade when the coach saw him dunking a basketball. Right. He was like 5'8", 5'9", he's dunking the ball. He said, I need you on my football team.
I got to play
cornerback.
Tracy Johnson now enters the game at tailback, number 28.
After Minor limps off. Johnson is hit hard immediately. That's just good penetration right there, JJ.
Well, you can tell the momentum has clearly changed over to the side of Norco, and that's how this game is played. You know, with crosstown rivals, the motion obviously plays a big role in this game, and right now the momentum clearly on the side of Norco, and this defense rising up to the challenge.
Interesting, the middle of the defense, Case and Parker both played on offense last year, the offensive side of the ball. Johnson shows some quicks, gets to the outside. He is ridden down, but it's a first down in Norco territory on that 3rd and 1 play. Legier just got on his back and rode him for 4 or 5 yards, but a pretty good play by Tracy Johnson.
Talked about Tracy Johnson, only a sophomore. Coming into tonight, 34 yards on 8 carries, so limited action, but they expect him to take over next year and be the man here at Centennial.
We'll play some wide receiver again this year. Keeping the football is the quarterback, Chris Scott. You know, I echo your thoughts. I like him. I like Scott a lot. He's got some athleticism. That's what you notice right away. He's an athlete.
And he allows you to move the pocket. You know, as a quarterback with some mobility, gives you a lot of options to offensive coordinators. We talked about Matt Logan. He calls the plays for Centennial.
And that is an optimal situation for Centennial. You know, you can have the no-huddle offense, but sometimes when you're there and you're looking over and the play takes some time, it gives the defense an opportunity to get set. Right there, though, good gain on first down for 8 yards, and immediately almost snapping the ball on 2nd down.
Right, quick hitter, quick plays. That's the advantage of running this offense. The other advantage is the defense cannot make substitutions, because if they do, you'll snap the ball and catch it with extra men on the field.
Well, exactly what Centennial wanted to do. Marching down the field methodically, mixing in passes and runs, keeping that clock moving, and most importantly, moving the chains. Remember, folks, this game is all about first downs, collecting them, and that's what they're doing on this drive.
And as you can see, Billy, although it is a no-huddle offense, this is not a hurry-up offense. Short ball control passes, just positive yards, keep moving the ball forward. And I can tell you one other thing, it's tough for a defense to not only substitute, but also be in the type of condition that it takes to play at this type of pace. Remember, they're snapping the ball awfully quick. Your defenders have to be ready.
Scott, Minor, who's back in, spinning, turning back inside, great run, Minor down near the goal line. Well, that's a good run. Maybe his best run tonight, John.
And that's the benefit of when you run this hurry-up offense. The defense just seems to tire a little bit, and they miss tackles. Watch Minor. He's going to be, you miss him there. Nice spin move, cuts back against the grain. And that's just a great run. That's why they're so high on this kid.
Minor now using his bulk, his size, his drive to back once again for a couple of yards. 6.5 to play, third quarter. Huskies, second down and close. Now over 100.
Already.
He's the tailback again. Scott inside. Minor driving. Still not in. Right at the goal line, but doesn't get across. Jimmy Boschma, Jeff Henderson, both there. Boy, big play coming up here, third down.
Minor's calling for the ball here.
He gets it, and he's in. Touchdown. Third time, a charm for the Huskies of Centennial. And Brandon Minor, the senior, and the home folks eating it up.
Big drive for Centennial. They answer right back. But I like that, right before the play. Now the coach, Matt Logan, is signaling in the plays. But right before the play, Brandon Minor turns to the sideline and calls his own number. He gets it, quick hitter, off tackle, and just too tough to stop. Minor goes 5'8", 200 pounds, low center of gravity, and very strong.
Extra point, right down the middle. Perfect drive. 23-6. Huge drive. Capped off by number 3-4. Getting in the end zone. Huskies in control.
You were driving like a madman out there. What were you thinking?
Officer, this little blue sports car was coming up on the rail. I had to drop back a couple lanes. He's going to end up taking the lead.
Pounds, 8 ounces, 18 3/4 inches long, and, well, 1 o'clock yesterday, 12:59. She's welcome into the world. And of course, the TD. Can't be here without a TD. They press all the right buttons.
Congratulations. Congratulations. How about the scoring drive?
All right. Tell me. There it is.
10 plays, 61 yards, a little over 4 minutes, and it was capped off by a Minor touchdown run. Centennial has opened up another 17-point lead.
Now we'll see if Norco can dial it up. Their last drive, they were back to basics, if you will, and Legier saw the ball often. See if he gets it again. That's what they do so well, as JJ alluded to, north-south running. Open a hole, I'll run through it. They will throw it. Kirk Philbrook in trouble, chased out, down he goes. Sacked all the way back at about the 10-yard line. Steve Elkins, who's been banged up all year, had some ailing ribs. Also, Hillel Dewberry, who also is playing his first year of football. There he is. He's another guy that was recruited. Coach Logan saw him walking on campus and said, "You're a big guy." Yeah, you ever play football?
Wait, if you haven't played football, you're gonna play football.
Isn't that how they do it at SC with Pete Carroll? Walks on campus.
Unfortunately, there's not 6'1", 295-pound guys just walking around campus that aren't playing football.
Give it up to Legier. He gets minimal yardage. By the way, on the telephone right now, and I'm assuming, where's Oregon this week? Are they up in Eugene? It's Terrell Jackson, former Centennial running back. Terrell, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Hey, by the way, the fellas are doing well right now. They're on top 23-6.
Oh yeah, you know that's how the Huskies do it. You know, they got Coach Logan up there getting the guys together, and they have a great team this year, led by the offensive line and great running back, receivers, quarterback. They're just doing it. Defense putting it down.
Hey Terrell, JJ, how's it going? Terrell, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to take a look at your game last year on Fox where you went crazy. Terrell Jackson, number 21, the most dynamic player in Corona that's ever touched the Inland Empire, Billy Mack. I'm telling you, he was electric. 4 touchdowns on this night, but he's had many nights on Fox where he has had 4 touchdown performances. Just a phenomenal night. Terrell Jackson, can do a little bit of everything. Run inside the tackles, has the breakaway speed, also catches the ball well out of the backfield. Look at the numbers. Husky single season record, 44 touchdowns and total touchdowns 50 in 2002.
Hey, Terrell, talk about how Coach Logan has really turned Centennial into a powerhouse here in the Inland Empire.
Oh, man, Coach Logan, I remember my freshman year, we won the championship. And then, next day, or next week, he's out back at the, in the weight room preparing the younger guys and just keeping the younger guys in mind. And, we have great JV teams and they do a good job at the younger levels, and then just keeps building and building. And then when they top talent leaves, they just got other top talent there, and I think it's just keep on going for them.
Hey, TJ, tell me about this rivalry, because we love rivalry games. You guys don't like Norco too well, do you?
Oh no, Norco was one of my worst rivals since Pop Warner. Growing up playing them, we always hated Norco, and Norco always hated us. So Corona, Centennial, and Norco, it's not a good game at all.
By the way, we're just going to call this punt return, and it's going to be close. A flag is down. Yule Hawkins, is he in the end zone? Yule Hawkins streaking down the right side. TJ, you know about Yule Hawkins. He's about the fastest guy on the team, isn't he?
Who's got the fastest guy on the team?
Yule Hawkins.
Yule?
Yeah, the Y-U-L Hawkins. Remember him? Was he?
Oh yeah, Yule Hawkins. Yeah, he has some wheels. And, he's a junior now, but in the future, Pac-10 colleges and colleges around the nation gonna hear about him and see what he can do. He's good at returning kickoff. He can play a little offense. He's not scared to come up and let it smack on defense. So colleges better watch out for him. He has some wheels.
Hey, Terrell, it's JJ again. Talk to us about Brandon Miner. He was a receiver last year when you were in this system. What kind of player is he, and how good was he? Because he's tearing it up down here, already over 1,000 yards in 5 games.
Terrell.
Yeah.
Are you there? Tell us a little bit about Brandon Miner, who's the featured back this year. He played wide receiver last year.
He backed me up last year, and I just knew he was going to be a good back. He's determined to be one of the greatest at Centennial. We got a good long line of backs to come out, and I think he'll be right up there with me, Damian Barton, Mike Bass, all those good ones. So, he works hard, he runs hard, and he's a great back.
Hey, before we let you go, how's things going in Eugene? How's your freshman year with the Oregon Ducks? Terrell, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, okay. I was just asking you how your freshman year is going up there in Eugene.
It's going well. I'm redshirting this year. I'm trying to learn the offense, and then next year I should be stepping in and doing some big things on special teams. And if Terrence Whitehead and backing up Terrence Whitehead, or being right there in the mix.
All right, we appreciate it. Good luck. We know you're going to be a featured back in the Pac-10, and we're looking forward to seeing you around the Pac-10 for the next few years, and we cherish all your great running back memories here at Centennial, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you, and go Centennial. Bye, Mom.
All right, TJ.
All right, the Centennial Husky former back TJ Terrell Jackson.
I think he can hear me the whole time.
He had trouble hearing. Yeah, he had trouble hearing us. I think he's watching the game. He's got a little bit of a delay, but he was good, as I mentioned. I got a little introduction to T-Jack during that Shrine game that we did over the summer when he scored 4 touchdowns. And as you said, one of your favorite backs.
And for all the right reasons. I mean, he's a good student in the classroom. He's a student on the field. Works hard at developing himself. Works on his weaknesses, and when he's on the field, he plays to his strengths. So I think it's a real testament to what made him such a great back here at Centennial. He was able to continue to develop. We saw him for 3 straight years. I had a chance to watch him for 3 straight years since his sophomore year. Labeled him a super soft that year, and he got better and better, and now doing big things at Oregon.
By the way, while we're doing our phone thing, Centennial nearly scored, of course, on the punt return by Hawkins. Came back with a penalty. Now they're driving again. It'll be a 3rd down and short, which could be a drive that'll close the curtain on this one. Couldn't put it away here late in the 3rd. It's already 23-6. Chris Scott, the quarterback. And then Norco, a little over anxious. They will jump, and with that, give a free 1st down to the Huskies. That's
got a big 3rd down. You just cannot afford to do this. Really, this game has come down to some some really big plays. You know, Norco, they get an interception, but some of the things that they haven't been able to do. And the offsides penalty gives Centennial another first down in what could have been a change of possession.
Minor darting through the hole. He's looking, touchdown! Brandon Minor running stronger in the second half, picking and choosing, nailing those holes. Touchdown Centennial, and they're starting to run away with things. It's 29-6.
All good backs usually do, and you can remember the 3- and 4-yard runs in the first half. Well, once you wear down the defense, Minor just explodes in the secondary. The quick moves, look at the vision that he had. You know, we couldn't see the player coming out of our screen, but he saw him out of the corner of his eye, and the cutback move right into the end zone. Brandon Minor, you can see why he's already over 1,000 yards this year.
Yeah, his prettiest runs, most effective runs have been here in the third quarter. Donald McCormick, extra point time, minute 21 to go in the third. So the karma working from Terrell Jackson. Over the telephone, McCormick bangs it through. And the Centennial Huskies looking to avenge the loss, 31-28 at the hands of the Norco Cougars last year. On top, big. 5 plays, 43, took over 2 minutes. Minor, a little happy right there. 21 yards on the run. He's now got 135 yards on the evening on 25 carries and a couple of scores.
Yeah, well, we talked about the history of these two teams, the recent history, I should say. Centennial, they won 4 years in a row prior to last year. The Norco, they played at Norco, and Norco, they dominated that game, played very well up front. The offensive line was huge for Norco. They ran up the score and beat Centennial in a close one, 31-28, a late second field goal. And then, so this is really a revenge game for Centennial. They want to get right back on the map. Proved it last year. Might have been a little bit of a fluke, although this Norco team is very good.
And Toby Gerhardt, who's got his helmet in hand, but whether he'll play or not, still yet to be seen. Remember the High School Spotlight Scoreboard Show tonight at 11 o'clock. All the scores from around the Southland. You are not going to want to miss it if you are into high school football. We've got it all for you. Lindsay will be there. Sean will be there. They'll get you all up to speed. Henderson with the return. Gerhardt had his helmet, but I would assume he's done, although he's got his shoe back on. No longer wearing the boot. Very badly wants to get back in there, of course, but does not want to obviously aggravate it and be out for an extended period of time. And this one, quite frankly, probably out of reach anyway.
Yeah, there's no sense in causing any more injury to that right ankle. And he's tried everything. He had the boot on it, tried to get some of the swelling down. That was electrical stim that was happening on his ankle with that boot on. They tried to retape it a couple times. He's been jogging on the sidelines. It's just not going to happen for him tonight.
Philbrook over the middle. That is caught. Jordan Campbell. Husky territory he goes. About the 48-yard line. Pretty good throw. Over the middle by Kirk Philbrook. 6 foot, 180-pound junior. Good protection.
Campbell's second catch of the year. More of a blocking back, and also those inside trap counter plays is more of his forte. Had over 100 yards, 167 yards coming into tonight. A couple nice runs as well tonight. And his first reception.
45 seconds remaining in the quarter. Good pressure, flushed out. Philbrook, flag down, loses the football. Huskies have got the football. Turnover, and Centennial, I believe, has it. Nick Hernandez, unless they call him down, I do believe they will give it to Centennial, or will they not? We'll check the flag. It's a hold. This will be refused, and Centennial gets a turnover right at midfield.
And this fumble is going to be caused by Ewell Hawkins. Watch number 3 come flying up from the secondary as Philbrook scrambles out of the pocket. He's holding the ball a little loose, and there's number 3 right there. He's such a blur, goes right through the screen, knocks the ball loose from Philbrook, and then Centennial, they are all over that fumble. Another fumble recovery, another turnover. More importantly, Centennial in good field position, ready to put this one away.
35 seconds remaining in the quarter. 1st and 10. Now for the Huskies, it's simple. Do what you have been doing, and that's mix it up, but mostly now chew up a little clock. And Minor, boy, up the middle he goes for much more. Kicks it outside, there goes Brent. Down the left sideline, Minor cuts it back inside, and he's deep in the territory of Norco. down around the 15, 14-yard line before Antoine Murray saves 6.
Oh, man.
He is motoring.
What an exciting runner, Brandon Miner. Watch the moves. And the vision, he cuts back against the grain, breaks the tackle there. There's a second, and now watch, he's going to make the last man pay. Bam! Right there, run over the last defender, but that is a tremendous run by Brandon Miner. More importantly, he's able to escape and use great vision to get up the field and cut back against the grain. Some of your biggest runs come on cutbacks against the grain. That was a perfect example by Brandon Miner.
Yardage piling up for that man right there. Brandon Miner, quarter is over. We've written 3 chapters in this one. They are loving it here at Centennial High School in Corona. We're live tonight on FSN West 2. This rivalry game belonging to the Huskies tonight, 30-6.
You work hard.
Right now, Centennial in a rout, 30-6. Norco coming in as the favorite, and with that bit of news, we take a look at our GMC game summary.
Well, you see that the big news is Toby Gerhardt has the injured ankle in the second quarter, so he was not effective in this one. Brandon Miner has been 26 carries, 173 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And you see Scott, also Chris Scott, having a very effective night himself. He has been on point. Only 1 mistake, 1 miscue. But other than that, he's been able to throw the ball, and that's a touchdown pass.
Inside handoff, Miner. He's going for the end zone, touchdown. He is an absolute bull. Here in the second half, flags are down. I would think perhaps dead ball foul after the ball was in the end zone, but we will check the flags. Miner in for a score. Personal foul is going to go against Norco.
That's a frustration foul for Norco. But as you mentioned, Miner, this defense is now worn down. The big guys up front have been able to fire off and really wear this defensive front down. And I'm talking about Devin Head, Michael Orr, Brian Baca, Daniel Kennedy, and Irvin Stevens. The big guys up front go 275, 250, 260, 275, 275. So they average 270 pounds across the board, that offensive line getting it done.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you're mentioning them. Devin Head, the left tackle, offers from Colorado and Colorado State. When you're talking about Brian Baca, the senior center, you know, he's 5'10", 260. Now that is beefy. Strongest guy in the team, 3rd best squat in school history, and 4th best bench in school history. And I know you're impressed with those kind of numbers.
I am especially impressed because I never could touch them or come anywhere close.
Now you're all about aerobic work.
Yeah, I'm cardio.
Cardio, all that stuff, ballet. It's been a second half set for Miners. Brandon Miner. He's been absolutely phenomenal. He now has 186 yards and 3 touchdowns on 27 carries. Huskies barking.
Santa Barbara is the spot for the final AVP event of the season. The action should be intense as old teams reunite and new combinations attempt to close out the season in winning fashion. The AVP hits the sands of Santa Barbara, Sunday at 2 on FSN West.
Priest Holmes leapt gigantic hurdles to become an NFL record holder.
Every step that he's taken, there's always been some type of adversity.
His faith was tested when his career was threatened by injuries.
Not one of those injuries took my focus off of the main prize.
But he
running back here in Norco, class of 1985, and you know, we kept trying to put the headset on them when they were on offense, but now they're on defense. We're going to chat with Matt Logan. So far, so good, Coach, and so much to talk about. We're taking a look at Brandon Miner. He has run so well, especially in the second half. He's been an absolute monster.
Yeah, and that's kind of our deal here. We try to wear you down and take control of that second half. We feel like we're better conditioned than most teams, and we can control the line of scrimmage in the second half and take control of the game.
Hey, Coach JJ.
Hi.
Hey, I want to talk about this offense of yours, a no-huddle offense, and you know, that does take its toll. It looks like it's taking its toll here on Norco, especially in the second half. Is that sort of the design of the offense, you know, no huddle, so that the defense cannot make adjustments as well as wear them down?
Exactly, and we've done a lot of quick count stuff when I think they're not quite ready to get in their defensive set yet, or they're looking to the sidelines. I think we've caught them a few times. Just disappointed in some of our misexecution in the first half. Felt like we should have put some more points up in the first half, but I'm happy with where we're at right now.
We're with Coach Matt Logan. We're going to get back to him after this play. Philbrook giving it up the middle. Here's 37, Jordan Campbell, and he is into Centennial territory down to the 48-yard line. All right, we mentioned that Coach Logan played for Norco. So did Todd Gerhardt, his buddy on the other side. But let's take you back. The Norco Cougars when he was on the other side of the field, JJ.
Oh, you're looking good too, Coach. Watch this run. Inside handoff, and he's down the middle, and he's all by himself. That's breakaway speed. You see that? Unbelievable speed, Billy Mack, when you are able to run everybody else out of the camera. That's a great run, Coach Logan. A great tribute as we flash back in the past. And he looks like he can still get out there.
Wait, Coach, was that like a 4th and 1 because you broke through the line and nobody else was there?
Yeah, we were pretty much a running team as they are now back in Norco. So now we are, you know, we didn't throw the ball much, so we saw a lot of 9-man box, 10-man boxes at that point. So,
speaking of guys in the box, obviously you guys came out tonight with a 3-5 defense. You might have gone into a 4-4. I thought your defense has really set the tone for tonight. As much as we've talked about offense, your defense was phenomenal, even when Toby Gerhardt was healthy and in the game early on.
Yeah, we stuffed him early, and that was great. I was really proud of our effort defensively. That's what I was most concerned about coming into the game. I felt like we could move the ball. I'm just worried because we've had a hard time stopping them the last few years in the perimeter run in particular, and we've done a great job with that tonight.
Hey, Coach, talk about the state of your program. I mean, you have to be proud of it. You know, you've had CIF Coach of the Year honors in 2 years. You've been the league Coach of the Year 3 consecutive years, going 2000, 2001, 2002. Talk about how this program has grown, and is it how you envisioned it? Is it there right now? Is this sort of the peak, or is there still a ways to go?
You know, I hope we haven't peaked. But, you know, when I first took over, I really had no idea what I was getting into, to be honest with you. You know, I didn't realize that the coach had to take care of the equipment and all the other stuff that goes around outside of just coaching football. But, you know, I attribute it to my coaching staff. I've got a great coaching staff. They've been together with me since basically the beginning, and the players that commit themselves to us and do a great job and do what we ask. And we work hard. And we work hard in the offseason. We work hard now, and I think the results show.
Coach, I know you have a football game to coach here, too. I know you also have a lot of respect for the gentleman on the other side, and Todd Gerhardt, but this year is going to belong to the Centennial Huskies, and we'll replay that run over and over and over again. In fact, we want to have the kids have you reenact that in practice this week. We'll talk to you after the game, all right,
okay,
Coach?
Great.
Hey, thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Matt Logan, the head coach of Centennial, and we really appreciate the fact that he was gracious enough to put on the headset. As mentioned, a whole lot easier when your team is playing this well and beating a rival 37-6, and I know it feels just as bad on the other side with Todd Gerhardt.
Yeah, but Billy, he's being modest. He's been at the school for 8 years, and this is a school that has really come alive, especially in the last 4 or 5. We talked about how they've been able to dominate the league and win league titles. CIF Coach of the Year twice. We saw his resume of the things that he's accomplished. But, you know, that's no small feat. He's taken a team that was off the map and has put them legitimately on the map. They're constantly in the top 20 in any poll throughout Southern California, the CIF. Division 5, Division 1, Division 3. So, you know, this is a great program, and Coach Logan deserves a lot of credit.
Cougars fail to convert, and the Huskies take over on downs. 8:23 remaining in the 4th and final. Centennial is on top on our high school football game of the week.
Goes on, which is amazing.
But I think he is done for the evening, and we're going to see a lot of Tracy Johnson. Brandon has done his thing, and there it is, 207 compared to just 168 for Norco, and that's also a testament, quite obviously, to that Centennial defense.
One more. Yeah, I think the Centennial defense has played very well, but remember, this is a young Norco offensive line. We've talked about it, 2 seniors, 2 juniors, and a sophomore, and they graduated 4 out of the 5 from a year ago. So it's a little bit of a rebuilding year for Norco in terms of this offensive line, and I think that Centennial being experienced, they got the best of them tonight.
Deshaun Miller, that one skipped to him. Now, Deshaun did not play in the opener against Poly. Neither did Irvin Stevens, the right tackle. Would they have made a difference? Of course. Would the score have been a lot, or the result been different? Maybe, probably not. But, you know, a couple of difference makers there. One of your bookend tackles offensively and your best receiver.
And Deshaun Miller is one player that can match the speed of Long Beach Poly. You know, he has great speed. Miller, he plays both ways, so he's a guy that's sort of a neutralizer. If you play against Poly, you can use him both offensively and defensively to help neutralize some of that speed.
There's that inside, underside, backhanded draw play. Let's take a look at the upcoming games. These, of course, are all league encounters.
Valley View, you see Moreno Valley, then Corona and Santiago. Moreno Valley, you talked about it, they are the sleeper team, but this was the game that really pointed with the big game on the schedule for Centennial. This Norco game they have looked at for a long time. A lot of revenge was involved from the loss from a year ago. You see the remaining schedule. I expect them to finish out undefeated in league and get a good bid in the playoffs and go deep into the Division V playoffs.
By the way, Santiago is the school where Norco head coach Todd Gerhardt was the head man for 4 years, 95 to 99. Gerhardt was an assistant at Norco early 90s, went to Santiago. Didn't have the best of experiences there. Then came here as an assistant and then took over for Gary Campbell, who, by the way, is down in Arizona watching his son coach down in McClintock High School.
Oh, we've seen a lot of running backs. Brandon Minor, of course, the feature man of choice tonight, but some other ones that we've seen, Justin Fargas. How about him in 1998? Starred at USC and now with the Oakland Raiders. Daniel.
Tommy Martin with the catch on the near side. Tommy Martin. Tommy Martin with the catch on the near side. Tommy Martin, a 2-year starter. Voorhees is also a 2-year starter. You know what the coaches say about Tommy? They say he's a pretty boy who makes all the fancy catches. I guess that's a compliment.
He didn't want that said tonight.
Well, that's what they said. Oh, that's funny. It's a compliment.
It is. In an indirect type of way.
Here's your pretty boy wide receiver. 2nd down and 2. 37-6. Norco, the Cougars. Standing tall in the pocket, then intercepted. Upton's got it. Robert Upton got room left side. Out of bounds, flag down. The interception will stay. The flag came late on the run back. But the linebacker, Upton, the 6-foot junior, the pick after the quarterback, Philbrook, was hit as he threw.
And Billy, the interception is going to be Robert Upton. But the play is made by number 55, Dewberry. The pressure that he puts on Philbrook, he actually hits him as he's throwing, and that forced the ball to just go straight up in the air, harmlessly into the hands of Upton. Watch the pressure. You see him hits him down low. That ball goes up in the air and right in the hands of Robert Upton for the return. But that play is made by the defensive lineman, Dewberry.
And he is a load, is Dewberry. Listed at 6'1", 295.
And they tell us he's getting better every week.
Yeah, remember he's
playing football.
Right, the kid that the coach saw just walking around campus.
In the hallways, that's right.
You got the kind of body I need right there on the line. And he's playing well. Tracy Johnson, tailback, gets the football straight up the middle. He goes up the gut and down to the 40-yard line, 35-yard line. Where is he down there? Or is that the 30-yard line? Boy, you can't see the yard. We're so low. Jeff Henderson. There's Dewberry. 2nd and 5. I'll get that yardage correct.
15 tackles before tonight and 1 sack. That wasn't a sack, but that hit caused an interception.
From the 30-yard line, 2nd down and 5, 5.5 remaining. Glad you've been with us tonight. The Inland Empire Backyard Brawl. Norco and Centennial. Next week, where are you going to be, JJ?
Next week we're
Wake
in
up,
South
JJ.
Bay, Maricosta Peninsula.
There it is, 7:30. I'll be at Staples Center watching this new edition of the Lakers. So JJ, the multitask.
Go to the Bay League next week.
Ryan Berman is in at quarterback. Behrman, 5'9", and a sophomore. So you got a sophomore quarterback in right now. There it is. Behrman getting some playing time late in the rivalry game.
Remember, Chris Keating was the starting quarterback here to start the season at Centennial. He was scheduled to sit out for disciplinary reasons and never came back to the team. So that means the responsibilities of quarterback fall on two young men. Chris Scott, only a junior, and now you see Bierman, only a sophomore.
So on 4th and 4 and in no man's land, they will keep it. Behrman, he's going to be short. I believe Norco will be able to take over. By the way, they've got a brand spanking new press box on the other side. So where are we? We're right here in the middle of all the folks. By the way, in case you don't know everybody, this is Greg. He's our stats guy. That's Norm. He's over there. Gary the Flea Jones is right there. JJ, John Shin hiding down. There's John. Wave, John. Come on, John. There he is. Look at him hiding. Matinee idol that he is.
And these are the guys that do all the work, by the way.
Right, and the Norco folks. Yeah, exactly. JJ, look at the see the jacket I'm talking about?
Hey.
There it is. And this is JJ's light, his lamp that he brings with us.
Been doing these games for a while. You gotta be prepared, Billy Mack. The more you can do.
I know. You got an old logo on the jacket, though.
Oh, you saying I need to go get a new one?
No, I'm saying the boss is all over you next week. It'll come up in the meeting, I guarantee, on Monday. Intercepted. So Centennial can do no wrong, really. Rodriguez. Luis Rodriguez with the interception for Centennial, and with 4 minutes to play, they've got the football again. But as always, we still have 4 minutes to go. We want to thank both schools, their football staffs, the players, the faculty, everybody who helps us out, and of course here at Centennial for their hospitality. You know, everybody really rolls out the red carpet for us when we come here. And Gary Paskowitz, I've mentioned his name quite a bit. He sets up these matchups for us and does a lot of our research, and we really appreciate everything that he does. He really gets involved with the coaches and the schools and helps us out tremendously. Johnson, the carry. Cheatham with the tackle. Cheatham's had great special teams here so far. So we'll see some fresh bodies, some new faces here in the last 3.5 minutes. Get some guys some playing time. They put in all the effort during practice, and now they get to play in front of the friends and family. Second down. Behrman, the quarterback. He's going to keep it. Near side. Trying to turn the corner. Close to a first down. Might have one. Stays in bounds, most importantly for Centennial. Jeff Henderson runs him down, the speed backer, who you figured would have played a big part tonight because of the way Centennial spreads the field and has some quickness, but Centennial has just really played well executing.
And you see they continue to run the same style of offense, even with Bierman in the game.
Is it Bierman or Behrman? Do you know?
I got to go with Bierman. Let's go with Bierman.
You want to go with Behrman? I'll go with whatever you want.
I think Bierman is the coach.
Okay. You think the Bears are going down tomorrow?
I do think they're going down tomorrow. They can't play that well 2 weeks in a row.
Why not?
They're not good enough.
They're not good enough. They're a top 10 team.
It still comes down to they're still capped.
Can USC play well 2 weeks in a row?
They'll play well 2 weeks in a row. They got a little bit more at stake.
Oh, then Calvin.
Right.
Okay.
Experience also plays a factor.
You're a pundit.
We've been there.
You're a pundit.
We've been there.
It's a compliment. You know what you're talking about. 2.5 to play. Behrman out of shotgun. Second down and 7 as we're winding down on this one. That's number 27. And that's Derek Wilson. He's a 5'8 junior. He gets his opportunity to tote the football. Jack in the box. Late night, our player of the game.
Brandon Minor, 27 carries, 186 yards, and 3 scores, and he got stronger as the game went on.
Our own personal 2-minute warning. We're under the mark. Up the middle. Now it's Martin Adami with the opportunity. He's also a junior. Remember, at 11 o'clock, the high school spotlight scoreboard. Soto and Farnham. Our post-game report. Undoubtedly talking to Minor. Soon we're also going to talk to the head coach, Matt Logan again. Stick around and we'll have interviews from after this one on the high school spotlight scoreboard show. Tracy Johnson bobbing and weaving. Some extra yardage on 4th down. If he got a first down, which he did, this ball game is over basically. They'll snap it once, twice more. And this rivalry game will belong to the home folks, the Huskies of Centennial.
They have reestablished themselves in this big rivalry game. They have now won 5 of the past 6 years. But expect this Norco team, they're only going to get better. This is a very good team. They lost the heart and soul of the team when Toby Gerhardt went down with an injury.
And we obviously wish Gerhardt the best. He's a phenomenal back, one of the best in the Southland. Out in the first half with that ankle injury, which he had hurt earlier in the week and re-aggravated here, and after that, not that their running game was non-existent, because Kyle Legier, of course, a good one, the 1,500-yard runner last year, but really without the spotlight runner, not the same. But this one, as mentioned, all Centennials, they will go to 5-1. Norco will drop to the same record, 5-1.
Yeah, well, Centennial looks extremely strong, and I think they're going to be led by that offensive line, who's been spectacular tonight. That defensive line stepping up and rising to the occasion.
Teams will meet at midfield. Brandon Minor and Centennial win it tonight, 37-6. So for John Jackson and our entire crew, I'm Billy Mack saying so long from Corona. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next week. JJ will be doing the play-by-play. It'll be the high school football game of the week right here on FSN West 2. Now stay tuned for the Southern California Sports Report with Van Earl Wright.
Now, on the Southern California Sports Report, UCLA is hours away from their biggest test of the season. We'll take a closer look at the development of their leader on the field.
He's no longer Little Drew anymore. He's a